Romelu Lukaku has reunited with José Mourinho at Roma. After back-to-back European final appearances, Roma are once again in the Europa League with some difficult teams in this competition. There are some decently high-rated players in this squad, but the 70 million in our transfer budget won't be much use for realism. Roma's lack of spending last summer on permanent deals is frustrating for me. I can only imagine how Mourinho must feel, but the loan players and free agents brought in will play a key role for us. As far as board objectives, the game has given us some difficult ones, looking to win Serie A and reach the final of the Coppa Italia. For the Europa League, we're looking to win that competition as well. What is good for realism are some of these transfer offers. You might remember last season, Nicolo Zaniolo left Roma for Galatasaray. Now they're looking to come in for Spinazzola. The youth academy will still be a big focus for us, and despite not starting this save with the best talents, we do have a 5-star, 4-star scout to begin with from Italy. What I've been doing lately is searching for players that fit the profile of club legends. The definition of a one-club player for Roma will be looking for an Italian center forward that resembles Francesco Totti. With the surplus in our transfer budget, we'll add a 5-star scout from Portugal who will stay in José Mourinho's home country, searching for any type of player. Our final 5-star scout will look for talents from Brazil who continue to be one of the top 4 nations for players at Roma. But we are ready to begin our Serie A campaign. Here is the starting 11 with the default tactics given to us by the game. However, I'm looking to switch things up. José Mourinho is known for his 4-2-3-1 formation. Regardless, both the 3-5-2 and 4-2-3-1 will utilize wing play as our tactical vision. With every save I do, I feel like I'm improving upon hiring coaches. It is difficult to reach the ideal stars, but we have achieved that for our goalkeeping category. It's a 3-0 win in our season opener against Salernitana, and an undefeated start to this save as we head into our first Europa League fixture. As a reminder, we've got Slavia Praha, Hibs, and Servette in our group. The top player at Slavia Praha is Norwegian talent Christos Safiris. Graduate of the Manchester United youth system, Dylan Levitt features for Hibs. And Servette have a pretty good track record of high potential players. Nicolas Vujos is their current highest potential player. Slavia Praha looking to stretch the play with a 3-4-3 formation. They'll be also looking to defeat us on the counter-attack. But unfortunately, Roma no longer have licenses in the game. They haven't had it for a couple of years, but fortunately with stadium customization, you can do a pretty good job of recreating the Stadio Olimpico. There have been talks of José Mourinho having a 3rd season curse at each club that he's at. With him now being in his 3rd seasons at Roma, I'm very curious to see how things will end up. I would say that his time at the club has been a success. His first year saw a victory in the Conference League, the first year of that competition. Last season saw him reach the final of the Europa League and lose, and now we'll see how far they can get again in the Europa League. But I think the fact that Lukaku is reunited with Mourinho, it's brought him back in form. It's certainly brought some good luck to this save. A fantastic debut goal for the gameplay for Lukaku. And we're looking to get the go-ahead goal here as Lukaku is going to play back to Dybala. That partnership is going to be crucial for this save, and so is high potential player Zalewski. While there are some higher rated winger options than him in the Roma squad, there are fewer high potential players, and the fact that he was getting involved in a lot of these goals continue to show me that he is going to be a starter in this Roma squad. Pellegrini, now captain for the squad, will set up this chance as Dybala has his effort denied. But most importantly, it's going to be a 2-1 victory here to start our Europa League campaign with 3 points. Outside of a few losses in the league against Torino and league favorites Inter, we're in good form heading into November and a fixture against our rivals Lazio. As things currently stand, the top 4 teams all are in contention of taking over the top spots. But a club's history and fixtures against their rivals mean a lot to me personally. Lazio continue to make great transfers. It's a shame that Ciro Immobile almost always leaves the club in the first transfer window. Quite a few key players in their squad. We'll see if we can get the upper hand in our first fixture. A fun fact is that similar to Inter Milan and AC Milan, Lazio and Roma share the Stadio Olimpico, so it's technically an away fixture for us, but we are very familiar with this ground. And we are also very familiar with this build-up play. Down the right side, Zalewski has been an incredible player from the start. scoring a goal and providing assist in the opening Europa League fixture, and he's already got a goal to his name in this one. What a find from Lukaku to get the ball over to Dybala. Unfortunately, he's just barely called for offside here. Good vision to spot out the run in the first place. It looks like Dybala was just a step offside. I want to maintain that same hunger to score goals and has the highest rated player in this Roma squad. Dybala continues to make his mark, especially in the build-up and for assists. Lukaku will continue scoring the goals, and that's what we're asking for him as this loan transfer. We want to get him back in form, and it seems like he has found that form under Mourinho. Again, we're going to see that link up between Dybala and Zalewski through to Lukaku, and he just continues to get these efforts past the Lazio goalkeeper. They'll make things 3 just shortly after the halftime break. One of Lazio's new transfers, Kamada, will showcase some good strength here and skills to get the effort on target. He'll get one back for them in the 55th minute, but defensively, Lazio did not look great because just before full time, we're going to pass the ball around a couple of times. I was wondering who would end up scoring the goal, and it is Renato Sanchez, one of those loan additions that I was talking about earlier in the video. He'll give us our 4th goal on the day, but all eyes are on Lukaku and the great form that he's in. Some good momentum as we head to the halfway mark of our first season, and we currently top the Serie A standings. Milan 3 points behind us. Napoli, Juve, and Inter also not far behind. And a fantastic outing in our Europa League group. We just lose the single match. Interestingly enough, it came against Slavia Praha. That first place finish means we get to skip past the preliminary rounds and play one fewer fixture. But here is the starting 11, which has seen some changes since the beginning of the year, specifically Renato Sanchez taking over at the right center mid spot. We've also had a few players recalled from their loan due to lack of play time. I've already got some updates on youth academy talents because I found personally the best thing you can do for these players is loan them out as soon as possible. Hugo Teixeira, a 67 rated left back from Portugal, with 81 to 94 potential. Lorenzo Giordano, not quite the center forward we were looking for, but Totti also featured at left wing. Anyways, he's a 63 rated Italian prospect with 71 to 94 potential. Afonso Neves, a 61 rated goalkeeper from Brazil, he's got 82 to 92 potential. We'll pick up things in the Europa League round of 16 against Feyenoord, a club that Roma know well. Roma defeated them in the Conference League final in 2022, and just last season they also got the win on aggregate in the Europa League quarterfinal. One player that we do need to watch out for from Feyenoord is Santiago Jimenez. He's one of the top strikers in demand right now. It is a 3-1 win in the away fixture, and at home, another high-scoring outing as we win 4-1. We'll advance 7-2 on aggregate into the quarterfinals against Atalanta. They've got one of the highest potential goalkeepers in FC 24 with Marco Carnesecchi. Goalkeepers didn't seem to matter too much though in the first leg as we lose 4-3 on aggregate. We're going to jump in for the second leg of this outing. We're playing against a lot of wide formations so far in the gameplay, and Atalanta are in great form. The featured player going into this one was actually Gianluca Mancini, who, fun fact, played for Atalanta in the past. He was loaned out to Roma in 2019, and in 2020, the transfer was made permanent. Since then, he has developed into a fantastic player and a key defender in this save so far. But a big opening save there from Rui Patricio, and we're looking to get the equalizer on aggregate just before the halftime break. It's new signing Ndika, who joined the club on a free transfer. As a Bundesliga fan myself, I have been very familiar with his potential over the years with Frankfurt, but a big change here at the start of the second half. It's a second yellow card for Ederson. That's going to bring Atalanta down to 10 men and a great opportunity for us to get the lead on aggregate. A striker change as we bring on Belotti for the first time in the gameplay. I have found that stamina issues have factored in for Serie A career modes. Just so many fixtures to play, and somehow Atalanta have not given up on this match, finding a way to get the go-ahead goal. And it's one last attack for us as we're past the 90th minute, and Belotti, spotting out some space here on the left, is going to play it backwards to Spinazzola, who will get this into the box. The finesse shot effort saved by Musso, the goalkeeper in form, but we're keeping hold of possession, and it is Renato Sanchez who makes good on his chance to feature in the starting 11, and we'll push this match to extra time. It's De Ketelaere who has his effort denied. Was a goal line decision that goes in our favor. Not long left in this match now as Dybala is through on goal. It's a 3-on-2, finding Belotti on the pass, and our substitute striker will give us the go-ahead goal in the 118th minute, enough to put us through to the Europa League semifinals. This first season has been great for storylines. Our next opponent in the Europa League is Liverpool. A lot of former Roma players here with Mo Salah and Alisson, both featuring at an 89 overall. The first leg ending 1-1, goals coming from Pellegrini and Endo. That means we're going to jump in for another fixture, the iconic 4-3-3 for Liverpool versus Mourinho and his classic 4-2-3-1. Obviously, Liverpool is a club that Jose knows well from his time with Spurs and also Manchester United. And it was a match that had a lot of implications. A great start for us as 16 minutes in, it's our captain Pellegrini, who I've asked to play in a slightly different role. He's known to be a central player, but we're featuring him as more of a left attacking midfielder, and allowing him to cut on that preferred right foot is doing well. Good job again by Zalewski to create chances, and Liverpool not looking fantastic on the attack because at the end they try to get something going, but we're going to hang on to possession. And just like that, we're through to another cup final in Mourinho's third season at Roma. Our opponent for said Europa League final will be Bayern Munich. Interestingly enough, this fixture wasn't the final match of this season. We still have one league fixture to play. We also haven't guaranteed our spot in the Champions League next season, so ideally we win that Europa League final. Implications for Rui Patricio as he will be retiring at the end of the season. It would be nice to see him be part of one more cup celebration. Bayern in great form heading into this one, and a club that has seen a lot of transfers this summer. Although he's not mentioned, I still believe one of their key players is Harry Kane. Judging by these cinematics at the start, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Harry Kane goal in this match, but hopefully we've got enough attacking firepower to get the win in this one. It's Zalewski, a common theme in this first season, setting up a chance here for Lukaku, who will get the effort on the near post and will give us a 16th minute lead in this Europa League final. It's Guerrero who is healthy and in form for Bayern, but the effort denied by Patricio, one of his final matches in his professional career, but unable to stop that chance from Harry Kane. So 26 minutes in, we're all square. Working down this left side with Dybala, and plenty of Bayern players around him. Still gets the shot off on his weak foot, but Neuer equal to the chance. Jamal Musiala, great at dribbling in close spaces, and is going to do enough to find Kingsley Coman, who will have an effort on target, but it's a battle of the goalkeepers here as the match stays 1-1, and we'll go into extra time. What you're about to witness is one of my favorite highlights from a spectated match. Pellegrini had no right doing the outside the foot cross to Lukaku there, but it makes for an incredible goal. As you can see from the replay, it just takes a slight bounce and Lukaku hits it on the half volley. That gave us the lead, and that gave us the victory in this Europa League final. What a way to win our first silverware. Mourinho finds a way to bring the best out of teams for European competitions, and he continues to do that with us at Roma. A third place league finish, semi-final appearance in the Coppa Italia, and Europa League winners. Not a bad first season as we have a parade through the streets of Rome. This reminded me a lot of when the club had the announcement for Paulo Dybala and how special of a football city Rome is. Ultimately, it's Milan to win the title with Inter right behind them. Us and Napoli will round out the top 4 spots. Mid-table went pretty much as expected, perhaps a slightly below par season for Fiorentina and Udinese, but it's Salernitana, Lecce, and Cagliari that will see relegation. For Serie B, Palermo and Cremonese securing automatic promotion, and it's Spezia that'll be joining them in the top division of Italian football. Milan were also Coppa Italia winners to add to their league accomplishments. Sevilla defeating Manchester City in the UEFA Super Cup, and it is Real Madrid to get the win against Inter in a repeat of last season's Champions League final. Club Brugge too much for Aston Villa, as they were Conference League champions. But the big storyline as we close out this first season are these expiring loans, particularly for club top goal scorer Romelu Lukaku. 32 goals from 51 appearances, and it ranked him as the 6th best Serie A scorer. Interestingly enough, Pellegrini had more goals than him in the league. But it was a pretty good season for development for Rasmus Christensen, going up +3 in his overall to a 78 rating. Renato Sanchez scored some key goals in the Europa League, also going up +3 to an 81 overall. Pellegrini with a ridiculous goal and assist output, 18 assists from 52 appearances, and ranked him as the top assist maker in the league, and one of only 3 players to reach double digits. Great way for Patricio to close out his career, a Europa League title, and also the 2nd most clean sheets, only behind Maignan from Milan. Zalewski had a great season, both in terms of gameplay and also for overall growth, going up +7 to an 83 rating. I'd consider Bove to be the future of Roma's midfield. He went up +5 in his overall to a 79. Ndika scored some big goals as well, going up +4 in his overall to an 82. And for the Youth Academy updates, Teixeira was on loan at Championship side Leicester City, going up +3 to a 70. Neves saw +6 growth to a 66 rating. And Giordano, a bit underwhelming for growth, only going up +2 to a 65 overall. We have a massive challenge to repeat the same success we had in Season 1. You can see how different this Roma squad is without the loaned-in players. Our board objectives will look to change that immediately as we sign 2 crucial players and make a profit this season. For domestic success, we're trying to win the league title, win the Coppa Italia, and for continental success, reach the final of the Champions League. Our transfer budget has seen a rise, and we will certainly see some player arrivals this season. The first order of business is to bring back Lukaku to the club. I just can't pass up on the opportunity to bring in a player of his form right now. In an ideal world for us and Chelsea, I think some sort of swap deal, including Tammy Abraham return back to Stamford Bridge, would probably be the best fit. When you look back at Lukaku's historical numbers, they are pretty ridiculous. His 2017-18 season under Mourinho at Manchester United saw him score 27 goals and contribute 9 assists across all competitions. For whatever reason, Chelsea weren't interested in having Abraham come back to the club, so instead we had to sign Lukaku on a 40 million transfer fee. Not too bad considering his contract was expiring, and it's quite a bit under his current valuation. There was still Premier League interest in Tammy Abraham, so that'll be the next move in his career. I think his decision to leave the Serie A was right, as he had a couple of good seasons for goal numbers. But it's a 45 million move that'll see Abraham join a different London club with Crystal Palace. Funnily enough, Chelsea wanted one of our other players in Selic, as he leaves on a 15 million fee. You just knew I had to bring back Renato Sanchez as well. Has a knack for scoring goals on big occasions. Just running you through some of his major accomplishments, there was a point in time where he had 90+ potential back when he was with Bayern Munich. He was also part of that Portugal squad that won Euros 2016. But in recent years, he's been in pretty good form with Lille. It was enough for him to move on a permanent transfer to PSG. Now, of course, he's been loaned out to Roma, but he's perfect for us in that box-to-box midfielder role, and I was more than happy to pay the 30 million fee that it took to bring him in on a permanent basis, slightly above his 28 million valuation. We've got some big shoes to fill with the retirement of Rui Patricio, but I think there's a unique opportunity for Carnesecchi to get starting minutes for us at Roma. It's pretty wild to think that considering he's got 87 potential and already a great rating, Carnesecchi isn't starting for Atalanta, but I do believe he is good enough to feature for most Serie A and even some Premier League clubs. There have been some links in the past between him and Juventus, but I think this would be a good move for Roma, considering the good form he's been in for a struggling Cremonese side, helping them achieve promotion in the 21-22 season from Serie B, and although he was also part of their relegation campaign, there's only so much you can do in terms of shot-stopping ability. It's a pretty massive fee to finalize this deal, 40 million, but hopefully we've got a long-time goalkeeper here. We gotta remember, there's Champions League football ahead, and we gotta make these sort of investments. There seems to be some sort of transfer relationship building between Roma and Galatasaray. I'm going to dive right into that storyline with the transfer of Sacha Boey. Yet to feature for the senior French French national team, it's looking like Bowie will get a big move soon. Often considered the best player on the pitch for Galatasaray, he's getting a lot of exposure right now in the Champions League, having already scored a goal against Copenhagen, and also Galatasaray defeated Manchester United, so a lot of eyes on him. Bowie definitely has the quality to fit right into our starting 11, and at a 30 million fee, it's not bad at all. He had his contract expiring at the end of the season, so we bring him in for less than his valuation. With that said, I do want to add some more squad depth at right back considering the departure of Christensen, and Amar Dedic is certainly a talent for the future. I found it interesting that he made the move from RB Salzburg to RB Leipzig in this save, but the reasoning for this transfer is that Roma have had quite a few players from Bosnia and Herzegovina in the past, such as Tahirovic, Edin Dzeko, and Mirolam Pjanic. But if you haven't heard of Dedic, he's gotten a nice upgrade in FC 24. Probably more updates to come considering he's got a 20 million valuation according to Transfermarkt. It will be a 15 million fee to finalize this deal considering we're a season in. We've already seen some development for Dedic as he's showing great potential. This season's scouting will start in Italy as we search for a physically strong center defensive mid. I think a lot of you would have guessed it. We're looking for a player who fits the profile of Daniele De Rossi. Another season spent in Portugal as we continue searching for any type of player, and we return to South America to scout Argentina looking for a technically gifted talent. It's a new competition to begin our season, the UEFA Super Cup against Champions League winners Real Madrid. A great storyline as well. Mourinho matching up against one of his former teams that he's managed. But this is a starting 11 that I think is capable of challenging for all competitions. Most of the headlines going towards new arrivals like Bowie and Carnesecchi and returnees like Lukaku. But an interesting starting 11 of choice for Real Madrid, historically known to feature a 4-3-3 formation. They made some moves in this save and brought in the transfer of Bernardo Silva. At least for current news, Jude Bellingham continues to be the top player at Real Madrid. I don't think it's going to be any different in this save because he's got great potential in career mode. But it's Lukaku who's in great form. He has his effort deflected by Courtois with just too much power on the shot to stop it from going in. Nice look at the replay here. This time on his left foot, generating the chance on target to give us the opener in this one. Paulo Dybala continuing the build-up at the attacking mid formation, and a lot of players forward for us here as Lukaku bursts down the left side, has his effort denied by Courtois. But just too many gaps in their defense, and Lukaku seemingly has enough pace to outrun these defenders, this time playing it across to Dybala. Once more, the shot stopped by Courtois. Nothing to show for it in the second half, so we will end up on top with a 1-0 victory as we start our second season with another trophy celebration. Hopefully the first of many as we continue our winning ways with Roma. The audacity of Madrid to submit a transfer offer for Zalewski on transfer deadline day. We're going to deny that and finish up the month of August with a loss in our Serie A opener against our rivals Lazio. But back to winning ways as we get into our first Champions League fixture against Dortmund. They're in our group alongside Real Betis and Malmo. Really interesting transfer to see Achraf Hakimi return to Borussia Dortmund at an 86 overall. Jose Gaya leaving his longtime club Valencia, now at Betis at an 82 rating. And we're looking more at potential players with Otto Rosengren, a 67 rated center midfielder for Malmo. Very familiar with this Dortmund squad, just recorded a rebuild with them, so I know what kind of quality is in their starting 11. One thing I will say though is that they seem to have moved past longtime veterans like Marco Reus and Mats Hummels, nowhere to be seen in their starting 11 or substitutes, so they're going to rely on talents like Sebastian Aller to give them the opening goal. Only took 13 minutes to score that, but plenty of time left for us to get back into the match. We're into the second half as Lukaku kind of went for a chip shot effort. That one was denied, and Pellegrini's free kick going off of the crossbar. So we'll switch things up at the striker spots. Andrea Belotti, known to be an impact sub, and we're certainly going to need that here as we get into the last 15 minutes or so. Dybala crossing it in. Belotti's effort blocked by a regen defender with Costa. Sula trying to defend as best as possible. We're working the ball around, and Renato Sanchez, when we need a goal, we can rely on him. His effort going off the post and into the back of the net. We weren't even done there though. Pressing the play style, looking to win back possession, playing through Andrea Bellotti, and how about that for an impact sub? He's going to give us the late winner. Was not expecting a 2-1 win as we got into the final minutes, but this Roma team does not know when to quit. That's why we've won trophies, and we'll look to continue as such. Another midseason update coming through, and unlike last year, we are not first in the Serie A standings. It's Napoli who return to the top spot. But one thing stays the same, and that we finish top of our group for European competitions. It's us and Dortmund to advance to the knockouts of the Champions League. Our opponent in the round of 16 is Monaco, and here is the starting 11. Unlike last season, fewer and fewer older players in this Roma squad, so the team is only going to go uphill from here. I am looking to make some more arrivals though, specifically on pre-contract deals. I think a move to Serie A would be quite realistic for Hakim Ziyech, and he accepted a rotational role for us to join at the start of next season. We also have one outgoing player, with Paredes no longer getting minutes as he joins Fenerbahce on a free transfer. But we're just a week into the January transfer window. We have a cup final. It's the Italian Super Cup, where we're going to play Inter for the first time in the gameplay. This is the former club of Romelu Lukaku, and they've made quite a few moves in their starting 11. No key players to focus on, but I'm going to be looking out for Toni Kroos and what kind of impact he can make. A big reason why Lukaku was so successful at Inter had to do with Lautaro Martinez. He was just a great striker partner with him. We sort of have that with Dybala playing right behind Lukaku and allowing for a lot of the build-up. Pellegrini known to have some solo goals, and he's going to get another one here. The effort right around the 18-yard box is going to find the back of the net and give us the early 19th minute lead. It's Zalewski who finds Dybala, and this might be the first time that he has scored a goal in the gameplay. The iconic celebration here. Of course, he plays a big part in the build-up to goals, but it's nice to see him finally get on the goal sheet. It's Lukaku played into this left-hand side, which seems to be what he favors in our tactics. Dribbling by a few defenders, finding Pellegrini in the middle. That's going to be a brace for him on the day. A 3-0 lead, 66 minutes into this one. Just a dominant display by us at Roma in the Super Cup. A second trophy on the season, and we're still challenging for all the other competitions, so we might see a historic year. We'll finish up January unbeaten. Heading into February, we've got our first Champions League fixture against Monaco. A recent transfer with Folarin Balogun up to an 83 rating at this point, but it was a 1-0 win in the opening fixture and a 0-0 draw that sees us advance to the quarterfinals against Real Madrid, a rematch of the UEFA Super Cup. A very interesting transfer to see high potential player Matisse Tell move from Bayern to Madrid, but it seems like the storylines are going to continue as the Super Cup started at the beginning of the year. We win the first match 3-0, and the second leg is scoreless. Our semi-final opponent will be Barcelona, who continue to sign high potential players. Antonio Silva leaving Benfica to join the Spanish Giants. Pellegrini scoring the only goal in the opening leg, and in the second leg, Barca bring one back to forced extra time. I chose to jump in to spectate the next 30 minutes or so, and it's Dedic who is going to make a rare appearance. I think it was a Bowie red card that suspended him from this match, and we end up getting the opening goal. A pretty tame effort from Martinelli, saved easily by Carnesecchi, and that means we are through 2-1 on aggregate into a Champions League final. We're going to close out our Serie A campaign on a loss, but our main priority right now is the Champions League, and Manchester City as our opponents. Despite that late loss, we still secure a top 4 finish in the league, Napoli hanging on to that top spot to return as champions. Really good outing by newly promoted Spezia to finish 14th. And in the relegation zone, it's Genoa, Palermo, and Frosinone. Salernitana and Pisa gain automatic promotion. Lecce will also be joining them in Serie A next season. Of course, we start the year with a victory against Madrid in the UEFA Super Cup, following that up with an Italian Super Cup victory against Inter. We couldn't quite pick up the Coppa Italia victory, with Milan winning that competition. Arsenal were Europa League winners against Manchester United, and Ajax had a European title with the Conference League, defeating Rangers. Still good goal output from Lukaku this year, 22 from 47 appearances. ranking him as the 8th best goal scorer in the league. We had 2 players with double-digit assists in Zalewski and Pellegrini. It's a top 5 finish in assists for Pellegrini, with Kvara leading the way in Serie A. I'm not sure what happened for Carnesecchi, but somehow he doesn't feature in the top 15 for clean sheets. But as things stand, Paulo Dybala, the highest valued player at the club, he's so close to that 90 rating. And some good development for Teixeira, up +2 in his overall to a 72. Giordano finally sees some good growth into the 70s during a loan spell at Hamburg, and Neves going up +4 during an MLS loan spell. Great Youth Academy find with Julian Alvarez from Argentina, a 64 rated center attacking mid with 81 to 94 potential. Afonso Miranda, a 62 rated right back from Portugal, 84 to 94 potential. And finally, Rosario Bianchi, a 59 rated center defensive mid from Italy, 84 to 94 potential, and he also has a beard, just like Daniele De Rossi. I don't think we can have a bigger cup final than the Champions League. This is the Manchester City starting 11. They've got quality all around, and we'll need to be at our very best if we want a victory. Once again, this is an opponent that Mourinho knows well from his time in Manchester, and known for his success in cup finals. I like our chances going into this Champions League fixture. Dybala starting things off, finding Lukaku, who plays through Pellegrini. We've seen this goal so many times, cutting in, and this time he chooses to take it on his non-preferred left foot to give us the lead just 5 minutes into the fixture. We're keeping our high press going as Lukaku wins back possession. Renato Sanchez helping him out with the support runs, and once again, stepping up on a big occasion. We've doubled our lead within 20 minutes, and now we just need to hold on. Lukaku reversing his run to the right side, trying to play in across to Pellegrini, looking to get his brace, but blocked by Ruben Diaz. Spinazzola, haven't seen him push up too much from that left back position now that we're using a 4-2-3-1, but we do well to keep possession. Zalewski playing the ball in the middle to Pellegrini. We lose hold of possession, but gain it right back with Bowie. He is an attacking-oriented right back, and he likes to get involved. Some great possession play to find the open player, and it's actually Renato Sanchez who will get a brace on the day just before the end of this match. A dominant attacking and defensive performance. I don't think Mourinho could have gotten the tactics much better than we did today. We've built an incredible Roma squad, relying a lot on players that were initially loaned in. It's going to be a treble-winning season and dominant performances across all competitions. And more importantly, it's another party in Rome, consecutive seasons where we've got the bus driving through the streets of the city and cementing Roma as one of the top Italian sides.